Not all heroes get to choose their fate. Some are born into it, dragged into a destiny far greater than themselves. That's exactly what happened to Paul Atreides. The heir of a noble house, the son of a great duke, a boy who once had a future paved in gold. But now, he is just a fugitive in the desert, running from the enemies who slaughtered his family, trying to survive in a world that wants him dead. Arrakis is not a place for the weak. The sun alone can kill you, and if that doesn't, then the sandworms will. And yet this is where Paul's story truly begins. After escaping the brutal massacre of House Atreides, Paul and his mother, Lady Jessica, are forced to seek refuge with the Fremen, the fierce desert warriors who rule these endless sands. But surviving the desert is one thing. Being accepted by the Fremen is another. When Paul and Jessica are brought to Siege Tabor, the Fremen stronghold, the air is thick with tension. Many still see Paul as an outsider, unworthy of their ways. And worse, Paul had killed one of their own, Jamis, a warrior who challenged him to a duel. Among the Fremen, respect is not given, it is earned, and Paul is about to learn that the hard way. He may have proven his skill in combat, but that is not enough. He must adapt, he must learn, he must prove that he is more than just a lost noble boy wandering the sands. Meanwhile, Lady Jessica is given a trial of her own. The Fremen's powerful Reverend Mother is dying, and they believe Jessica, with her Bene Gesserit training, is the only one who can replace her. But the ritual is deadly. She must consume the water of life, a toxic substance that kills most who drink it. Jessica has no choice but to accept. As the water burns through her body, she undergoes a transformation unlike anything she has ever felt before. Visions flood her mind, past and future colliding all at once. But the most shocking revelation? Her unborn child, still growing inside her, awakens too. This child is no ordinary baby. She speaks, she sees, she understands. Jessica is now something more, something dangerous. And so is the daughter she carries. Paul, on the other hand, tries to resist his so-called destiny. He doesn't want to be a messiah. He doesn't want to be a leader. He just wants revenge. Revenge against the Harkonnens. Revenge against the Emperor who betrayed his father. But revenge alone will not be enough. If he wants to destroy his enemies, he needs power. And power does not come from titles or noble blood. It comes from the desert itself. The Fremen begin training Paul in their ways. He learns to fight as they do, to move as they do, to survive in the unforgiving sands. He takes a new name, Muad'Dib, letting go of the past, embracing the warrior he must become. But the more he trains, the more the visions haunt him. He sees a war that will spread across the universe, a war fought in his name, a war where millions will die. And yet, no matter how hard he tries, he cannot change the path that lies before him. And then, the moment of truth arrives. The final test. The ultimate challenge. If Paul wants to be seen as one of them, he must ride a sandworm. A beast so massive, so powerful, that even the Fremen fear them. The ritual is dangerous. Many have tried and failed. But Paul has no choice. As the ground begins to shake, as the sand shifts beneath his feet, he waits, and then the creature emerges. A monstrous force of nature, moving with terrifying speed. With nothing but his hooks, Paul leaps forward, grabbing hold of its thick armored skin. The worm thrashes, fighting to throw him off. But Paul holds on, inch by inch, forcing it under his control. And then, silence. The Fremen watch in awe as Paul rides the great beast across the dunes. He has done it. He has proven himself. He is no longer just an outsider. He is one of them now. But while Paul is becoming a legend in the desert, elsewhere, new threats are rising. On the distant industrial world of Giadi Prime, the sadistic Baron Vladimir Harkonnen is preparing for war. His armies have crushed House Atreides, but he knows that Paul is still alive. And now, he has a new weapon, his nephew, Fëdor Raltha. Unlike his brute of a brother, Rabban, Fade is something far more dangerous. He is intelligent, cunning, and utterly ruthless. In a gladiator arena filled with thousands of spectators, he proves his strength by slaughtering prisoners in a brutal, calculated display. The Baron watches, pleased. Feyd is ready. And soon, he will crush Paul Atreides once and for all. Back on Arrakis, Paul is no longer running, he is leading. The time for hiding is over. Alongside the Fremen, he launches a series of deadly attacks on the Harkonnen forces, striking from the shadows, leaving nothing but destruction in their wake. And in one of these raids, Paul reunites with someone he never expected to see again, Gurney Halleck, his father's loyal warrior. Gurney had survived the massacre, and he brings news. Hidden deep beneath the sands, there are atomic warheads, the last remnants of House Atreides' strength. With these, they could wipe out the enemy in one decisive strike. But before the final battle, Paul knows he must take one last risk. He drinks the water of life, the same poison that nearly killed his mother. For men, it is always fatal. But Paul is no ordinary man. He falls into a deep coma, trapped in his own mind. And there, he sees the truth, the prophecy, the future. He sees that his mother, Jessica, is the daughter of the Baron, which means Paul is part Harkonnen himself. The blood of his greatest enemy runs through his veins. But there is no time for doubt. When he awakens, he is no longer just Paul Atreides. He is something more. Something unstoppable. The Emperor himself arrives on Arrakis, bringing the full force of the Sardaukar, the deadliest army in the galaxy. He expects an easy victory. He has no idea what's coming. The battle begins. The desert erupts into chaos. And then, from the horizon, the sandworms rise. Paul and the Fremen charge into war, striking with a force no one could have predicted. The Harkonnens fall. The Sardaukar fall. The Baron, now desperate and afraid, tries to flee. But Paul is faster. He finds the monstrous ruler cowering, and with a single strike, he ends his reign. But one final challenge remains. The Emperor refuses to surrender. He has one last champion, Feyd Rautha. A duel is called, a fight to the death. Paul and Feyd face each other, two warriors, two legacies, two destinies colliding. The fight is brutal. Blood spills across the sands. Feyd is fast, deadly, but in the end, Paul is stronger. With a final blow, he ends it. The Emperor has no choice but to accept defeat. But Paul knows that political power is just as important as military power. He demands the Emperor's daughter, Princess Irulan, as his bride, securing his claim to the throne. She agrees, but standing in the shadows, Chani watches in silence. Paul has won. But at what cost? He thinks it's over, that he has saved his people. But he is wrong. The war has only begun. The universe will not accept him so easily. And as the Fremen prepare for a holy war, as the stars tremble at what is to come, one thing is certain. Paul Atreides is no longer just a boy. He is a force that will shake the cosmos itself. And this is only the beginning. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite movies. Let me know in the comments what film you want me to cover next. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring great stories.